We've got our favorite stand-up comedian and podcast host, Rachael O'Brien, in to discuss all of our screwed-up stories tonight. We're talking wedding planning, how to date on your peak astrological days, and we are going to sip our nightcap, the screwed-up driver, tonight on It's Complicated.
You're listening to It's Complicated with your hosts Jennifer Golden and Lauren Leonelli, coming to you live from the AfterBuzz TV studios in Los Angeles, California.
Hello, master daters. Welcome back for another episode of It's Complicated.
The struggle is real when you're dating in the city.
I am Jen.
And I am not Jen.
Nope.
Just not.
You
I
aren't.
just felt like a cheerleader right there.
Same.
Yeah.
But that's also like hero stance.
Oh, yeah, that too. I am woman, hear me roar.
Yeah, you're supposed to actually do this before you have like something that might scare you because it gives you confidence.
So I do that all day?
Yeah, you might have to.
Okay, yeah, because I'm like not scared of everything, but I have anxiety about everything, including some things we're going to talk about tonight. But we are so excited because we have our favorite comedic podcaster, Rachael O'Brien, and we're discussing our latest screwed up stories. We're talking some wedding planning, dating during peak astrological days and times, which Jen has some specifics on, and what kind of cheating is the worst, plus a whole bunch of other things. We're going to get into our own screwed up stories. We're going to talk some shit, and we are real excited about it.
The most. And guys, if you missed our last episode when we had Rachael on, you're obviously, choose better choices. I don't know. You're clearly living under a very large rock, but we will give you a refresher on who Rachael is. She is a stand-up comedian and actress who has performed all over the world in the most prominent comedy clubs and has done 2 USO military tours. That's like a big deal.
I mean,
a real one.
Yeah, like real things, not just like I'm doing. All stand-up comedy is real and
but
terrifying.
It's not all created equal. I'm sorry, it's not.
That is on another level.
Yeah, that's like important work.
Yeah,
like not that it's not, but like you're doing something for people that really need to laugh, probably. You know, that kind of thing.
Right.
And she's also made a splash in the comedy scene, sharing the stage with comedic household names such as Bill Burr. Again, these are not small things, guys. These are big fucking deals. Judd Apatow. Who is that? I've never heard of him.
I was drinking my drink, but I don't know who that is.
I think he must be an unknown.
I think he's just like one of those one-offs.
Clearly, we're not comedians, guys. But anyway, Whitney Cummings, David Spade, Ali Wong, all the people. All the fucking big people.
All the fucking big people. And also, Rachael can be seen on a really big people hit network called Bravo.
They are huge people.
On a show called Vanderpump Rules. She also has 2 podcasts, her top podcast being Be Here for a While, which we were on. It's amazing. It takes a comedic look into the world as Rachael and her notable comedian and entertainment industry friends see it. It features guests like Jim Jeffries, Bryan Adams, Stassi Schroeder, Heather McDonald, Love, Spencer Garrett, and many more. And us, and the girls from It's Complicated.
That's us, in case you didn't realize who that was. Guys,
it's Jen and not Jen.
Hashtag not Jen. And guys, Rachael is joined by Christine Blackburn for her brand new podcast, Screwed Up Stories.
You guys, so good.
And you can like binge listen.
Totally.
It's just too much fun and like it's very relatable, which you just need to listen to.
Because it's like
you all have some screwed up shit going on. You just don't necessarily talk about it.
Yeah. Like, hey girls, listen to what happened to me last night. Well, that's what this podcast is. Yeah.
So you're going to hear stories about sex, dating, marriage, divorce, cheating, wellness, and rebuilding their lives.
Yeah.
All the important things. And, you know, this is not a home and garden show. Don't think that it is.
Definitely not.
It isn't Oprah either. It's real life. And it's hilarious because, let's face it, everybody screws up.
Oh, my God. Everybody does screw up. And also, you know what can get you very screwed up is alcohol. And that's what we're going to be drinking tonight. Our nightcap is the screwed up driver. Because, like we said, nothing gets you more screwed up than vodka. And we all know that enough vodka leads you to do some maybe potentially screwed up things, which gives podcasts like Rachael's and now this ours tonight some screwed up stories material. So
Thank God for alcohol.
For your entertainment, that is why we're drinking this drink. Not because we want to.
It's for you.
Because we're hoping for it will lead us to a screwed up story.
Obviously.
So cheers to that.
Cheers.
Yeah.
to that. Also, we've got some tangerine LaCroix for those people that
it's not the
say
traditional
it stupidly.
screwdriver. It's a screwed up driver. And so we squeezed some lemon in it for like the juicy part. And then, you know, we did the vodka La Cocktail that we like to do so often.
Why did they give it a French name if they're not going to say it French?
Well, I mean, there's two different ways to say it. They just picked the dumb way. It's not the way that people say it. It's La Croix and just.
Do we have to conform?
Enough. No, I'm not ever conforming. Ever, unless they want to pay me.
Oh, okay, fine. Let's do it until they pay us.
Yeah.
La Croix.
La Cocktails.
La Croix yourself.
La Cocktails so much cuter. Actually want to. So I did some starting the wedding planning process, which, so last week I was telling you about the hives on my face. The cortisone shot worked. I don't have shingles. It wasn't that.
No, obviously.
It was just stress probably. Or maybe I'm allergic to, I just am so fucking stressed out about a wedding.
Wait, also, I feel like this would be a really good time to bring Our Lady in.
Oh yes, Rachel. Before
Hey,
we get into
hi
the
there.
wedding
Because
planning.
I know so much about weddings.
Here
Right.
she
Well,
is. I
you
know.
have to
Well,
talk about
that's
all the
why.
screwed up shit that's going on.
We are going to talk about all of our screwed
all the
up
things.
shit because I am having major anxiety.
Yeah, she had for reals welts.
Hives. I'll have to show you pictures.
It's-
of
This
my
is why
face.
I'm not having a
Scary.
wedding. Whenever I
It's-
get married, it's not going to be a big wedding.
Okay.
I can't do it.
That is so.
But what's your reason?
Yeah.
I don't even like planning my own birthday parties. Like I would have way too much anxiety. It's just I don't know. I don't want to be responsible for everyone's happiness that
too.
night. Like
Me
I just
too.
am not interested in it.
Pressure.
Yeah, it's too
And
much pressure.
especially when it's supposed to be a night about you, I guess, or you and your husband or wife
That's
or whoever you're
100%
marrying,
what it's about, but it
which-
never ends up being
It
that.
never ends up being that. But also, then when you don't want to just like, I also it's this weird dichotomy because I like don't want all the attention on me. It's
Mm-hmm.
like during the wedding ceremony part, it feels very like. It's just gonna feel uncomfortable to me, like
Absolutely.
to have all those people staring at me, and everyone keeps going, "Well, you're the bride," so I'm like, "Shut your fucking mouth." I know, but like that doesn't mean just because every other person does it that's what I'm comfortable with. I'm not. It makes me uncomfortable. It's a very vulnerable moment. It's not has nothing to do with who I'm marrying. I don't have any anxiety about him or what I'm doing. It's like not any of that. It's literally. Then people start getting like, oh, well, you know, I'm like, I can't be fucking hot. I'll start sweating. I can't. We have to be in like a cool, breezy area.
A cryo cafe or whatever?
Totally.
Oh my
And
God,
then
you should get married in a cryo
I'm going to
cafe.
get married in a frozen vodka bar is where I'm
there
going to
you
get
go.
married.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
we should
but
go to Russia.
his family is from the East Coast, so I can just hear them all being like, it's freezing. And I'm like, I can't. I'm sorry. It's like you said, you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
If the day
Wait,
is
why would
supposed-
they think it's cold?
Well, I mean, like if I'm on a beach and it's not like a tropical beach, which I could never do.
But if they're
You
from
could
the
just
East
hire like a
Coast-
stand-in or something for like most
I'll
of
do
it,
it.
and then
I'll
just
do it.
and then just tap out right before the kiss.
I'm
or the
into it.
vows.
I
Ew.
could do that,
Yeah.
or just have people fanning me.
There you go. That wouldn't look divish or anything.
I would
Yeah.
be fine.
I think you should really go for the diva look. It's your wedding. You go big
Yeah,
or
go big.
Go not big. But
I mean,
wait,
no, but I
also,
don't
have you
want
seen
a
that
big
meme
wedding.
where it's like go big or go home, and like it's like people really underestimate the amount of me wanting to go home.
I know,
Like,
I love
I'm
that
so
meme.
happy to go home. I will go very small, and I will also leave.
Yeah.
By now.
It doesn't matter the size of what I'm bigging or smalling. I'm going home anyway. So goodbye. Yeah.
Thank you for letting me go now.
But yeah, we went to Carmel. We did some wedding planning. We looked around there. It's very pretty. But
Oh.
it's also like, I guess we do it here.
What? No, I hate.
Wait, why not Carmel?
You're so underwhelmed.
I'm not.
It's like a
under-
beautiful place.
It's
Clint
so
Eastwood
pretty.
was the mayor.
Yeah, no,
he
it's-
lived it.
Well, Clint Eastwood's thing there. It's like I forget the.
I don't actually like
something
him.
ranch, the something ranch or whatever. We went there and we were like, no, we're good. Like it's not somewhere.
Is
you
it a
would wanna
wedding
get-
venue that he
Yes,
has? Oh.
it's like a big hotel wedding venue, but like you open the doors to the one venue and it's like brown carpet and like it looks like a kind of a school cafeteria ish.
Oh, no. I'm all set on that.
No, I'm good. Like I'm not trying to be that picky, but like I'm not honestly. There's only so many places you can do it. I don't have like unlimited miles in bank account to just travel all over the world and fucking figure it out. I'm like, I guess Carmel will be just fine. Why wouldn't it be? And everyone's like, did you just love it? Was it the place? I'm like, I guess. Like, am I supposed to be like,
Yeah.
everyone's making it out to be like, you'll know when you will. I'm like,
I love how people just start talking different when they're
What?
talking about
Yes.
weddings or babies. Did you just love it? Does anyone
yeah.
talk like that?
no. Isn't it the best? Okay, so are
It's
you like
everything.
so? Were there any signs? I'm like, no,
God.
it's a fucking beach town and it was pretty. I'm not complaining, but like also it might be the only place. Where else am I going to look?
Well, does it have to be a beach town?
I really want to get married on the beach because of my temperature problems.
But also, if you pick a season that has temperature
I don't know. Anyway, it was giving me anxiety, which is a little screwed up. Also, the Patriots are going to this fucking Super Bowl, and we're in a town that they're playing the fucking Rams, and I might move out of the city if the outcome is not to my liking.
Do you care?
You're a Patriots fan?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you care about these things?
I think it's cool the Rams are in it, and they're a fairly new LA team.
Like 2 years in.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But no, I don't care. That was as much effort as I could
That's about
exude
it.
in that.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
it gets that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in like who's gonna invite me to like watch it and like
Like what
Or,
the
like,
party's
what do
going to
I-
be.
What football players are single?
right and like
Julian Edelman
And
on the
Raya.
Patriots.
Is he?
He's so fucking hot.
Oh.
wait, well, didn't I almost
How
go
do
out
we
with a guy
contact
that's
him?
friends with him?
Yes, you did. I don't know.
He's
Let's
very
figure
tall.
it out.
The guy that I almost went out.
No,
with.
Julian Edelman.
I know exactly what you're talking about, actually.
He's 6'7" or 4,
And he was a former football player.
and now he's like a trainer of some sort.
Does he make
No.
the rounds?
No, he does something else. I don't know.
Lives in Malibu.
We frequent the same dating app, so it's like the same.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his name, though.
Guys.
On our whole drive here, we like swiped and I was like, "Oh, that guy's a club promoter. Oh, that guy dated a friend of mine. Oh, and you know,
Jen for president.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Well, I showed her that you could basically stalk people on Raya.
Wait, how
This
do you
is
do that?
wait. First of all,
I can't
is
wait to
this-
show you when we go for drinks after this.
Is this screwed up or is this amazing?
It's amazing. It's so entertaining. I want someone to stalk me, not in a creepy way, but like, what I would love if someone had that much of a crush on me that they saw where I was, showed up, professed their love.
Like you.
What?
Like
The show you,
on-
yeah, she hasn't
Oh
seen
yeah,
it,
I haven't
yeah.
seen it. Yeah.
But
I was like me, no, I would not do that.
wait, I totally want a fan, and like if that's the means to get to it, like we've talked about it on the show, like
Yeah.
if we could invent a dating app that told us where all the single people are,
Oh, yeah,
we
true.
would then not have to hop around and
We
waste
have
all
one.
of our time. Right? She figured it
amazing.
out.
Okay, so-
Raya provides you with
But
some
it's like
weird
it's
thing.
like a loophole that you found or something. It's not
No,
like
It's like a feature
real
on the
thing?
app.
Oh,
So
my.
we're gonna go on like a Raya bar pub crawl.
Yeah.
And just go to like a few different places in the area. And even if we don't meet anyone, it's at least a good story that we can Instagram
which
about.
could be a good screwed up story. But you are now back on the dating apps because is there a screwed up story that leads to that?
Oh yeah, I received a memo last night.
like a legitimate one.
Like what?
Well, like an email. I was dating someone. He had. I mean, that morning he had left my house. Yeah.
See, it happens like this sometimes. Jen.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
she said she had a similar thing, and
Yeah.
then
It's very
he
sociopathic.
called me like right when he got off work, but I was still with my writing partner. I was like, "Can I call you back?" Cool. I called him back. He didn't answer, and then I called him again, but I hadn't checked my email yet, and I was like, "Oh, he's being annoying." And then I get in bed super early, and it's like at 9:30 I receive an email that says, "Please read," and like the first sentence is like, "I love you, but," and I'm like,
Wait, hold on. You were at the point where you were saying you loved each other? Uh-huh. Oh my.
But I mean, but also not in like a super serious way. I know
Right.
that sounds like it
I
is,
know
but
what
in
you're
a way of
saying.
like, yeah, we maybe loved each other as people, and
Yes.
like it was going well-ish. I don't know.
How long were you dating?
I'm very lovable. What?
How long? Yeah, you are. It's true. How long were you dating?
Like 5 months. That's
okay.
like an okay amount of
It's
time to
okay
say I
amount
love
of
you.
time to start saying that. I
Yeah.
think. Okay.
Yeah,
And
that's fair. Yeah.
he's not a young like 21-year-old.
No,
so
he's
okay.
40.
Okay.
So, but oddly enough, I read the email and I frankly felt a little relieved, which is a really strange feeling to feel because I had noticed he was like a little off over the last couple weeks and I didn't like that feeling. And it was kind of like we haven't been dating long enough that this is going to like break my heart. This is something I can easily move on from. And so I was just kind of like, well, I guess now I know.
You have
Right.
answers. You can like sleep at
Yeah.
night.
And so
Right.
I don't know. I felt fine. I woke up fine. I didn't think about it
Did you respond
that much today.
Did you respond to the email?
No, I called him and then he didn't answer and I just sent like a text just like, yo, it'd be pretty cool if you answered. And then he didn't. And I was like, I'm actually not mad. I'm pretty relieved, but can I have 5 minutes of your time? Like,
Right.
I have some questions in this email.
Sure.
And he didn't respond until this morning and was just basically like, I'm so sad. I'm so upset. I'm at work and I'll talk to you later tonight. And I'm with you guys. So
You're busy.
But like,
Yeah.
do you feel like the reasons he gave you were on the same page with, not, but you were fine with? Like, I mean, was it weird?
I read the email to Jen. The email is strange. It goes back and forth, and it's very related to like how he's feeling about himself, which is fair. And like family stuff. I don't know.
Can I summarize the email?
Yeah.
I love you, but as you know, there's things going on with me. Also, there's things that are going on with me. Also, as you know, there are things that are going on with me. And there are things that are going on with me that I haven't told you, but I definitely know what they are, but I haven't told you. And so I need this to get over it so we could maybe one day be together. Bye.
There wasn't even a bye. There wasn't even like a love name or name. It just like ended.
But also it didn't say anything. Like as vague as I just was, I wasn't summarizing the email. That's what he said.
Me, end.
But also no actual information was like transcribed.
Sounds confused, like a stream of consciousness that he did not proofread.
It wasn't well written, and like we were both saying, like in his profession, which we will not name, he should have better grammar, spelling,
that's like his job.
Any sort of stringing together thoughts.
I have no idea. It's strange, but at least I know now. I can move on.
How do you feel though about being broken up with via email? Screwed up?
At first I did, yes, it is screwed up. But at first it like I didn't realize how screwed up it was until I like said it out loud. Like I went and worked out with like Stassi and Katie, and I said, and they were like via email. I'm like, I guess that is kind of weird. But
if it's not, okay, so if it's, I agree.
It was like an email and then he like thinks we're going to talk about it or something.
But I guess, but on paper, there were a lot of things. Someone can look really great on paper and be a total fucking screwed up asshole in real life. This thing could sound bad when you're saying it, but in real life it didn't get like this. It didn't make you feel bad at first, so I guess trust your gut on that. Like if it didn't come across to you as something bad, don't let somebody else's projection of like, well, wait a minute.
I'm not super pissed about the email part of it. I think it's kind of funny. I might make fun of him for it.
Oh, I think you should actually make a joke about this for sure because it's so good.
Oh, totally. Absolutely, I will. It sucks though because I'd written like 10 minutes of new material on him. Like he's a Yelp reviewer. That was a hilarious like 5-minute joke. Like the whole like Jew thing. Whatever.
But can't you?
I can still use it.
Right, like your audience doesn't have to know that he's
This guy I'm
or
dating.
You could say like, these were deal breakers.
Yeah.
Like in retrospect, also. So you do a show called Screwed Up Stories. So like, how did that even come about? You were just like, I've got so many, I got to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, we were thinking because my co-host and I are like 20 years difference in age, and we were like, what if we had a show with like different generations of women, kind of like The View, but where we talk about like dating and sex and like screwed up things that happen with that, and we call it The Screw. But then we found that was already a podcast by a couple porn stars, I think.
Oh, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah, and so
good branding.
Then we pitched it to a radio network, and then we came up with Screwed Up Stories. But it's more so other people coming on and telling their screwed up story, and then we sort of relate to it and discuss it.
Well, you do your screw up of the week or whatever in the beginning.
I love that.
Do a little quick one,
I love it so much because it makes so much sense. So I'm going to tell you some things.
Yeah, do you have any?
I'm dying. We spent the whole car ride here where she has this incredible dating story, and she was like, "Wait for it on the air."
Yeah. Okay. So tell us your screwed up dating story.
Listen, the setup is probably way better. Like, it's not that great of a story, but so I go on this date this one time with a guy who I'd actually matched with before. We went on a date prior. Years had gone by. I forgot about him altogether. We rematched because I was like, okay, that person's like decent. Like 34-year-old me should be attracted to that.
I'm shocked it didn't go well when that was your reaction and excitement.
So 34-year-old Jen should be attracted to that thing. So I'm like, all right.
When you're talking yourself into being attracted to somebody, because on paper you should be.
I mean, he's Jewish and tall and has a job.
But you're not like, you also are trying to be open, and it's good that you did it.
No.
It's good that you went.
Stay tuned. So,
oh God.
Anywho, and then I'll tell you my lessons I learned, guys.
Okay.
Because there's always a lesson.
Always.
So anyway, I go out with this guy, and he remembered we had gone out before. So
I would fucking hope so.
Well, I didn't. So I thought he looked familiar. I mean, everyone looks familiar at this point. I probably swiped left on 1,000 people that pop up again. I'm like, do I know them? Are they a celebrity, or did I hate them? I don't know. It's really, I don't know. So it could be any of them or all of them, really. So anyway, we go on this date, and I'm like, so remind me about the date, what happened with us. So he's like, oh, I think we went to dinner. It was at an Italian restaurant. He knew exactly what we did. He's like, we went to dinner. It was an Italian restaurant. It went well. And then at the end of the date, we got into a 30-minute conversation about astrology, and it was like pretty heated. And I was like, huh, okay. So I let it slide because open-minded 34-year-old Jen was like, all right, well, maybe.
But you didn't say like why was it heated?
No, in fact, I was just like, he sort of like evaded that whole thing.
Trailed off.
Yeah, and was like, then we ordered, there was a whole like activity list that we had to accomplish, like order the drinks, order the food, like chit chat. So anyway, then I was like, oh, okay, so we changed the subject. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, this was also 5 years ago. Anything could have happened.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right. So like, let me not fault him for 5 years ago, him, and 5 years ago, me. So
True. Good point.
listen, let's all note how open-minded Jen was on
Very
this
evolved.
okay. Totally.
Love it.
Totally. So we've noted I gave this person another chance. I was super open-minded.
You didn't know that it was a second chance, though?
No, I did, because he told me prior to going out that we'd gone out before, but I didn't dig into it because I was like, open-minded Jen,
just
like 5
trying
years
not
ago,
to
Jen
dredge
could
up-
have been an
yeah.
asshole. I don't know.
Right.
Could have been wrong place, wrong time, or just whatever. So anyway, remember those details because they will come back around. So we're sitting on the date, ordering, eating, drinking, the whole thing. And then somehow astrology comes up.
Oh, fuck.
And this human crosses his arms and is like, well, some people think stupid things. So I'm like, I'm sorry. That was a direct relation to what I just said. So you're essentially calling me stupid. I mean, not essentially, you are calling me stupid. No, I'm not. I'm calling the people that think that. I'm like, well, I just said something about astrology very clearly, and I like went on a whole thing about it. So then it became something else and something else.
It was like he has been sitting in his mother's basement waiting to like, it's today I'm going to redeem myself from this last conversation we had 5 fucking years ago.
So you thought about the same thing that you thought about the first time.
Well, so now this is all becoming way more clear to me. I'm like, so I look at him and I go, oh, this is why we didn't work out. This very thing. This is the reason. So it's not unclear anymore. Now it's for reals. 5 years later, still same issue. You're super close-minded and you're judgmental and really negative. And he was like, well, no, blah, blah, blah. Then he brushes this off. We start talking about something else. And throughout this, he starts making comments like referring back, almost like a callback. But I'm like, this is not a funny callback. Usually callbacks are meant to be funny. You're referring to a joke you both thought were funny originally, not only one of you. So every time he does it, I'm like, oh, God, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill this guy.
Like, what would he say?
Oh, like astrology or like.
Oh my God!
Oh, how annoying! Did someone abandon him? That was like an astrology, like psychic or something? Is that
what's his
was he
hang-up?
beaten with a?
I don't know. I didn't get that
with
far.
the fucking tarot card?
Yeah,
But
Jesus.
the like final time he did the thing that like brought it up, like to like more in-depth conversation about it, I looked at him and it was like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. Nothing was going to stop me from telling the truth. Like someone should have been there to like clap.
What did you
because
do?
I was like, oh, you've lived your life this close-minded this entire time. This is why you're single. This is really sad. You need to like really get this in check because you've real bad energy. Like you have a wall that has just come up and like your energy, I don't even want to be near you right now. Like I have to go.
Did you get up
Did
from
you just
the
get up
table
and
and
leave?
walk away?
No, I let him pay the bill, and then I was like, I'm gonna go. He's like, so you don't want to continue this conversation over
What
drinks? I
the
go,
fuck?
Hello? No, I don't. This is never going to work because I eat, breathe, and sleep this shit. I don't know. I have
And
a
even if
healer,
you-
a psychic, a medium, friends that talk about this stuff, an astrologer. I have all the people. I live this life.
But that's fine. He doesn't need to like do it too or agree, but like to just
to be that negative about it is weird.
Well, I was like, wow, you have a really unhappy life. Like, how do you do this?
Dude.
No. I just kept going. I went and just didn't stop. And then,
What did he? And so you just walked away, and he was like, "Goodbye."
no, like we like left. And then he sent me a text the next day and he apologized. He was like, I'm sorry. I definitely crossed the line. I hope you find everything
You should have
you're
been like,
looking
"Well,
for."
you're a Gemini, so it makes sense."
I actually don't know what his sign is, but he's a sign of awful. So anyway,
He's probably a fucking Scorpio.
Actually, apparently Scorpios are my match. So we'll get
Really?
into that.
I want to know so much more about this kind of
even
thing. Like, I
astrologer.
don't know. Are you actually an
No, we
astrologer?
have one.
You
He
do?
came on our show and he's amazing.
Really?
He's so good. But wait, Sean, did he told you that you have peak days
Right.
for dating?
The 21st it started, not when I went out with this guy.
Wait. Peak days for dating 21st every month?
No. So it's like, okay, this is how he explained it. And I was so confused after I had to send him a text. I'm like, I am still conflicted by what you meant. So, like, certain signs go best with me, apparently, which are earth signs, and then a Scorpio and
what are you?
And a Pisces. I am a Capricorn, so I'm an earth sign.
Okay.
So earth signs go well with me for a variety of reasons, which he breaks it real down. Like this person is an achiever, just like you, or like a leader and all the things.
Yeah.
So a Scorpio also and a Pisces, and then he tells you like who you should not be with, and then who's like a little trickier. But there are certain signs in which I will find better matches for me. So that's like right now, which is Aquarius season.
Okay.
oh, I see. Okay.
And then there's like a couple of every time that this element comes back to play is another time it would be good for me to
How
find
often
someone.
does that happen?
4 times a year or 3 times a year.
So right
Hard to
now
say.
it's one of the peak times.
Right, but it's like the best of all the times.
To find an Aquarius?
to find
to find any of the other signs.
when the moon is in this sign, like the moon is in Aquarius
When it's in
right
Aquarius,
now,
the
or whatever.
song.
Yeah, then it's the dawning in the
Aquarius.
age of
Yeah.
Aquarius.
My love.
So you can date any other sign that's not the 2 original ones that you're supposed to be with.
So Earth, I can date. and Scorpio and Pisces.
So this is the best time to be doing that.
To find those people during this time.
I wonder if Raya
It's very
has a
confusing.
loophole where you can figure out what sign
Yes.
they are.
Wait,
Seriously.
Bumble now has certain, like you can put your sign, but some people don't do it. I'm like, well, now I just
this
don't
is
know if I
not
can
helpful.
date you.
Yeah.
You're showing you can't date those people because it's going to be like this guy.
Right, because it's not that important to them.
Yeah.
So obviously I hate you. But anyway, then I went on another date that it was a setup, and this guy had no manners at all.
Oh.
He actually told me, he was like, what part of town do you live in? And I'm like, this part. And he's like, okay, enter restaurant 2 p.m. I was like, he's like, see you there. I'm like, I'm sorry, who's
2 p.m.?
Like, we were going to lunch, which was broad daylight and everything
that's
I
a
don't
no.
believe in. But we were just trying to squeeze it in. And I was like, well, it's close enough
You
to my love
talked
date.
about that on your podcast,
Yes, it's
Rachel.
a no. It's a no. Why would I
Coffee
want to do
date-
that?
yeah.
I don't even meet friends for coffee.
Why? Now,
I drink coffee alone in my apartment with my computer. That's when I have coffee.
Totally. Explain to our audience why you don't think coffee date. Why do they make you uncomfortable? Why do they not feel like a dating environment to you?
It feels like a business meeting or something. It's
Like
like too
sterile,
bright.
you said,
It's
yeah.
sterile.
It's not
like
romantic.
it's not romantic. And I'm not saying like I have to drink on the date. I just want to
Yeah,
be
no,
somewhere
you do.
where it's like
Not
that's
bright.
helpful, but
Yeah,
like
not bright.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
could also drink before the coffee date. You know what I mean?
Right,
like
totally.
it's whatever.
Or put it like
take
in your coffee.
Or
Yeah,
flask.
take the drinks out of it. It's just too sterile. You're like in uncomfortable chairs. It's like, it's like you're interrupting people working on their computer trying to like start an
Feels
app.
like a job.
It's just weird.
Somebody trying to start a fucking podcast.
Yeah, it's
Right.
next to you.
Oh,
It's just
everyone's
uncomfy.
aspiring around you. It's
Yeah,
not.
everyone's aspiring.
No.
You're
And
just
then-
trying to meet the one.
You're just trying to meet the one, and everyone's like pretending to have a job.
But they don't have one. They're
I
using
know.
free Wi-Fi at the fucking coffee place.
Yes, the whole energy about it is sad.
I
Is it-
agree.
yeah, I don't-
and
it's the
some people
opposite.
say, "Oh, it's so much better because it feels like less pressure." Why? It
feels like way more
Feels like
pressure.
way more pressure too. And then what are you supposed to do if you have a connection? Go back and have a makeout session at like 3 p.m?
Yeah, it's way too weird.
It's so weird.
I
I
go back
don't-
to a parking garage, like watch
Right.
it. It's like broad day. Like no,
Also, you can see how dirty my car is, and
Yeah,
that, like, I don't
I
want
know.
to mess with this. I'd rather Uber places.
No.
Like,
Yes.
just stop it.
It's not gonna happen.
Unless you're gonna day drink on like cute brunch.
That's different.
Yeah, I've been on a few brunch dates. That's okay. Yeah,
It's not ideal because it's not whining and dining. It's like daylight and
yeah. It's just the thing about
Avocado
the
toast.
daylight too. Like
Yeah.
I just don't.
nothing's cute in that. It's
Yeah.
just like no.
No.
Like when you're in the club and the light comes on, no one's like, yes, I especially love this time.
The nighttime.
It's the
This
worst
is the time to find the
yeah.
person that's most
Everyone
attractive.
run to the bar and meet your match. No,
When you've been dressed for the dark and they turn on the lights, it's like,
Like,
no. This was a
surprise.
dark
yeah,
look.
it's a filter. It's like
Yeah.
an automatic
Yes.
filter.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I only date in filters. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Well,
that hashtag. date.
Eventually, they have to see the real. But no, it
After they
doesn't-
love
When
you.
you get to that point,
Right.
Yeah, but I don't even. It's not even that I don't think I like look cute in the daylight. It's just too sterile.
I agree. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
There's nothing romantic
I
about it
was
unless
never a
they're
fan of it. I
romantic
think I probably did it a couple times. I was like, this is fucking stupid.
I only do it when I'm trying to fit someone in, or like I'm like, oh, I guess I should give this person a chance,
Yeah.
but I don't want to give them too
It
much.
feels
of
like a
chance.
burden, not something I'm looking forward to.
Totally.
Right.
It's not
Which
as
is not how you want to
exciting.
start a date.
And then you're like all ready and cute, and then you get home and you're like, it's 3:30.
No, that's when you have 2 dates in a day because you're already ready. Oh. I've done that.
That's
well,
smart.
maybe if you're piggybacking to the B,
efficient.
the B guy to the A guy, you put the B guy in coffee, you put the A guy
Yeah.
in the dinner, and then you can compare directly.
I don't think I've ever gone on 2 dates in a day.
Oh, you should do it. It's really effective.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 'cause
good
you're
for your
already ready.
confidence, probably.
Have you ever
Yeah.
made sex with 2 people in one
made
day?
No.
sex?
Not that I
I've
can
never
remember.
made sex.
You don't
in
make
general.
sex? Do sex?
I don't know.
Sex?
Have sex? No, I've never done that.
I had sex with our friend on New Year's
Yeah.
Day, and then went out with
Oh,
my
fiance.
fiance.
Does
on
the
our first
fiance
date.
know this?
If he listens to this episode, he'll know. And then it was 2 days later. It was like that day, and then the next day we went on the date.
Oh, that's
No,
not that. Well, there was
no.
a day in between.
There was a
Wait, you made it sound like it was the
You're
same
good.
day.
It wasn't the same
No,
day.
it definitely wasn't.
But that was speaking of screwed up stories, that was like the time where I think you and I went on a hike. And maybe it was you, or it might have been.
It was me. We took a picture.
We went on a hike like the next day, or like it was like, January 5th or something. And I was like, I have up until the year before that, I hadn't had like a tremendous amount of sexual partners. I mean, this is relative, I guess, but it wasn't like, anything. It was a handful, let's say,
Yeah.
right? Well,
hands?
up until like a year before. And then that year, up until the hike we had, I had the same amount of sex in that year that I had up until, you know what I mean?
She basically doubled
So let's say it was like 5 people.
Okay, the year prior.
On
do
my
some math.
life.
Yeah.
5, and then that year I had sex with 5 people, like the same amount that I had my whole life. And after the New
I get it,
Year's,
I see.
Yes, and I remember telling you, like,
You were on a good run.
You had a good run because I was enjoying being single.
Yeah. I'm looking
yeah.
forward to that. I usually do enjoy being single. I feel like I'm good at dating. I enjoy it. I don't get super attached.
No, I think
I don't get attached either, but I also hate strangers, and I'm like, ugh, I don't care about what you have to say.
I'm with that too. Yeah.
I'm like, I'd rather hang out with people I care about or my dog. Like, ugh.
See, I agree with that, but sometimes I get such a kick out of myself on a date, I'll go on one. Where I'm just like, I am enjoying everything I'm saying.
Do you feel like you get a similar reaction from men on dates? Like they compliment the same things about you, or they're like, "Oh, you're so this or that."
Like a consistent
yeah,
feedback?
there's a consistent thing where they like
5 stars.
yeah, they rate you out loud, and you're
wow,
like,
I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like they act the same towards me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like I get like a vibe, but I don't know about like the same compliment.
Well, I think that means that you're probably a good dater because you're being you enough that they're reacting the same way, and you're a beautiful girl and you're young and sexy and all these things. So they're probably all going to be like, liking the same shit. But I think it's good if it's like a job interview, for example. If you always get the same good feedback, it's like, okay, well,
You're doing something right. I actually have the same experience where, like, they're a fan and I give good date, but it's more just because I at some point turn it into an interview.
like you get a kick out of yourself, like Rachel does.
And also I'm like doing research because I'm like, well, now I'm going to talk about you and extract what I want from this nonsense and like, or educate you in some way.
Well, Rachel, you're pretty open on both of your podcasts about your personal life. You talk about this guy I was dating, and then I broke up with him, and then I called back and took it back again, and so do these guys, because Jen, you get this a lot, and
They listen.
Yes, I did get this because when we started this podcast, I was single too, and went on the first date with my fiance and talked about it like 2 days later on the podcast with Josh Wolf. Do you know Josh Wolf?
Yeah, of course.
They're both stand-up comedians. So we were like talked about the whole date. Anyway, I don't know. I just feel like being open about it is important, I think, and like letting people in on part of the process. And you're really open about it. And
But don't they get insecure a little bit? Do they think you're going to talk about
you? Do they say to you like, "Oh, are you going to talk about me on your show?"
Sometimes they do. I have a thought about this though. Like, I figure my work, unless this person is like my husband or we're committed, my work is more important to me than pleasing someone that I don't even know that I'm going to like in the future or whatever. So I'd rather just be myself. And like, if they don't, I'm not going to like censor myself with the hope that maybe this person I went on a few dates with will like the content I put on there. Like, I don't care.
You put it in perspective, which makes sense. Like, this is what it is right now, and I'm doing what I'm doing right now. And when this becomes as important or closer to the importance of what I'm doing right now, then those decisions will be different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally. Like, I kind of feel bad that I talked about the guy's email that I was just dating, but like, I don't know, he sent the email. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Like,
don't
I
be a victim of your own reputation.
Yeah, I didn't say who he was. I mean,
Right. Also, like, that is the truth. It happened. You didn't say it was good or bad. You actually were like kind of indifferent about
said
it.
it's fine.
I have opinions about
When
things like that.
when
but
people
whatever.
complain about something they did because you retold the story, my answer always is, well, you're a victim of your own reputation.
Exactly.
Sorry
Shouldn't have
that
done
I'm
it then.
Fucking repeating the reality of the situation.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
that's not my fucking problem.
Facts
You
are
made a bad
facts.
choice. I mean, God. You guys, what is the most screwed up thing you've done when you're drunk?
I don't remember. I'm drunk.
on a date,
It's like it
Doesn't
vanished.
matter.
you're not drunk.
general.
No, I mean,
Oh,
when
you
it
did say you were
happens,
hungry though. Oh, okay.
I'm starving.
Yeah. In general.
I mean, I'd have to check the tapes.
I really just fall
Shit.
asleep when I'm drunk, to be perfectly honest.
I get so
Like,
tie-tie.
yeah, like I'm not like a mean drunk really.
No.
No, neither am I. I
I'm
tell people I
really-
love them a lot. And I
I'm
send
really
a lot
just
of messages.
I fall asleep. I don't know.
Probably
Have you
safe.
like fallen asleep on like a date ever?
No, you were
No.
going to say on a dick.
Or
On a date, no.
or that.
Trying to think.
Sorry, I thought that's where you were going.
I mean,
I get extra sarcastic maybe before I get to the point of drunk, where like I'll have no filter.
yeah.
Like I went on a date with this guy, and then we hung out for like 2 months after that. But like I just think what I'm saying is funny, and I enjoy it. And he had like really soft hands, and I was like, "You're a delicate little Jew."
Oh my God! And did he like that, or
he thought it was funny. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably made him a little self-conscious.
well, you know
No
what?
man wants to be called delicate.
Yeah,
or
Well, if
little.
you are delicate,
Well, I'm
you're-
single. I don't know. I don't know what the
you
problem is.
Are a victim of your own reputation, soft hand and little.
I don't think he could be. Well, he could probably roughen up those hands by like lifting a weight.
Yeah.
Hanging a shelf, throwing a football, all of the things. I don't
just,
even
like,
know
rub your
what
hand
the,
on-
like I wasn't drunk, but I mean I might have had. I'm sure I had a couple drinks, but I actually did have a couple of drinks, so I was drunk. I
keeps
kicked a
changing.
guy out of my apartment when I was single because his stuff was too big.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you
Like,
were you
I
like
was
mad
like-
about it, or just like a no?
No, I was like, nope, go. It was like,
Oh,
yeah, it was,
terrifying.
For those listening, Lauren lifted a can.
yeah. I was like, I am so sorry, but I
I'm afraid.
am not going to do the things, and you have to go. And like, he also got a little aggressive when he would like start doing the sexual things. Like his mannerisms would get really aggressive, and I literally just like pointed at my door. Was like, go.
I actually had someone like that was like, it was like he was very like flaunty about it, and it was bugging me. So I was like, all right, we get it. You got a big dick. Like calm down. Like
Yeah.
Like I don't care. You're not
Like, that's what
impressing with
the
me.
kids say, like big dick energy.
Yeah.
Like
Wait, what's that?
when you have.
But
a
it was
big
just like he
dick.
presented it, and I'm
Oh my
like,
God, she just flopped her arm on the couch like an elephant trunk, like.
But it was just
ew,
sort of like,
sound
I get it.
effects.
Like I don't know what to like.
But, like-
what do you want me to do? Go ooh.
Yeah.
Like what's the reaction you're
But that's
hoping
what I'm
for?
saying. Everybody does that. Like, oh, it has to. He has to have a big dick or whatever it is. And I'm like, listen, really? Like,
There's
I'm
a
not-
long list of things prior to
There
that.
is some things about that aren't good, and
Yeah.
let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Like that doesn't feel good, and I think that's kind of screwed up. That
Yeah.
everyone is on this bandwagon of like, you're just regurgitating things you hear because guess what? It's not good.
It's not good.
Well, for me, it's not. Maybe I have some.
It depends. I think it depends on your bodily orifices. Is that the thing?
No, it is probably. And Sex with Emily, who is like our favorite, and you've been
love
on her
her.
podcast
Yeah.
too. She could tell you all the things about that too.
All the things.
But it is not always the best thing.
I'm just trying to think if roles were reversed, if a girl like presented herself and was
Yeah.
just like waiting for a compliment. like,
But with
it's
something
like,
super weird, like look at my vagina,
like just does like a fan kick.
splayed it out.
Shows her
A
vagina.
fan kick. That's gonna be my
A
new
fan
move.
kick.
I'm gonna do that. Just
Just at the edge of the bed, just like fan
Yep.
kick.
hello.
But
Wait,
in a
also
skirt.
though, I think it's actually quite funny if you do that, and then if they laugh, that's funny
Yeah, that is
because you're making fun of yourself.
Yeah.
But if they were like,
But I
"Oh,
mean,
yes."
how wildly uncomfortable would this fan kick be?
if you were serious about it.
I don't. They
What
need
if
more.
you were serious? Some guys get
that's screwed
serious
up.
about things
Yeah.
too, and then you're also like, has anybody ever been like romantic with you and you just can't take them seriously?
Oh God, yes. No, remember that guy brought me a gift to the date. He brought me a necklace. He's a
first date?
a soap opera actor, and he's like, I made you a thing, and he's like, I hope you like it. Everyone does. And then he's like,
Oh, like,
so
okay,
he
so it
gives
was
it
like
to
a
everyone,
stock
yeah.
gift.
wait, and then no, because all of his fans, because he's like such a big person.
Oh,
but
God,
anyway,
no.
then he was
Can't.
like, listen, if it doesn't work out between us, you can always sell it on Poshmark. I'm like,
Oh,
what the actual fuck?
No. Oh no.
Oh my God.
That's like a caricature of a person.
oh no, I couldn't take him seriously. A, because he's super hot, but also because he's super ridiculous.
Wait a second. He said Poshmark. That
That's very
reminds me of
specifically.
this screwed up story where my friend Joy, her guy that she was dating, broke up with her because he's like, I have a lot of things going on. Plus, I'm really concentrating on my Harry Potter, some fucking Harry Potter
Cosplay.
something. Yeah, and I was like, you fucking dodged a bullet.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
you are so
Goodbye.
lucky.
How screwed up? Like when you don't even know that you sound screwed up,
No,
right?
that's
when you're
the
like,
worst.
I'm just telling you can sell this on Poshmark, and you're like, oh,
my
did you?
God.
How? Yeah, that's like a no.
No, of
that's
course
like
not.
a hard no.
Well, I was like, I mean, I'll go out with him like one more time.
No, Jen.
We went out like 3 times. He's also in Hallmark movies now. I mean, he had some things working
He's got
for
a
him.
career.
Right, and you know how I feel about Hallmark guys, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's her favorite.
But anyway, it didn't last very long because he also dates like porn stars and like
Oh,
ew.
wow.
He's one of those guys that like follows a lot of like naked people, and I'm like, I can see who you follow, you fucking dodo.
much, yeah.
Anyway, what's the most screwed up thing you ever heard? story-wise?
So far, like on the podcast.
Yeah.
Or just like, or that you've done maybe.
I'm kind of boring. So I
felt
don't-
like the same thing. I was thinking tonight, like, what am I going to talk about? I'm like, I guess that time I kicked the guy out of my apartment because his dick was too big. I mean, there's definitely stuff I've done. It's not like I'm like, oh, I've never done anything screwed up or been part of something screwed up. But I'm like, I just can't think of anything that sounds like something you would want to tell. Jen, do you have stuff?
I really can't think of anything.
I mean, I also don't think that what I've done is screwed up. So somebody else might, just big judgment's sake. But
true.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a bunch of stories in my life.
I mean, have all of us ever slept with a friend's ex?
Wait,
Ever?
a friend's. Wait,
Ha-
one
yeah.
of our friends.
Yeah.
It was someone she
You have.
hooked up with.
Yeah,
like,
no, this
years
means
and
I
years
have
and
not.
years ago.
Oh,
But
that's fine.
no, it was an ex-boyfriend.
You can't do this. This
Oh, I
means
thought
you
that
didn't
meant you
do it.
did. I mean, I did.
I know you did.
Was your friend mad?
She doesn't know.
Okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about it.
Does your friend watch the show?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's okay then.
I think, in all fairness, she slept with one of mine too. So
Well,
let's
there you
just
go. We're even.
even Steven cancels
There you
it
go.
out.
Have you?
Not that screwed up.
No, but I definitely went on a first date with what then became my boyfriend and like left a really great date and then had a guy waiting for me at my house. Another guy, different guy.
Yeah, but before the guy was your boyfriend, though.
Right, that was our first date. But
See, I don't think
I went
that's
home to a
that
different
screwed
guy.
up. You didn't know that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty more.
Yeah.
But that's not that bad.
Okay.
God, I
good.
wish I could think of something really screwed up I did.
I know. I think I bury the things.
Yeah.
Because if I judge myself, I'm like, that never happened.
I think you do rationalize a little bit too. But also, I think this is a real thing. Rationalization is a real thing. But then also,
coping
like,
mechanism.
it is. But in your mind, you understand the logistics of what's going on in your life or the decisions of why you're making things. And if you could be vulnerable enough to just tell that to somebody, they're interpreting it from their perspective. Like, well, they did this and they did. But like, everyone always says, well, you don't know what they're going through or whatever. So it is actually maybe less bad for you knowing what you're doing. Your inner monologue is, well, the reason you're making the choices you're making. To somebody else, they're looking at it from a different perspective and without all that knowledge. So it could actually look more screwed up than it really is.
Totally. But I also think, like, in terms of, like, your show, like, people, first of all, want to share their stories. They just are afraid to. But also, it's, like, liberating when you finally do. And also, I think it takes a special kind of person because you're self-aware enough to understand, like, somebody out there can relate and can extract
Yeah, it's helpful to
something.
people to like hear like, oh, other people do things like this. It makes people feel better about themselves. It's relatable.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
loved the one about the girl that was like, had this guy she was dating for 5 months and then she had a crazy weekend of having sex with someone else and it was this
His
person's college roommate.
Yes.
Oh my
And he found out
God.
about it and was like, goodbye. And was like, oh, well.
And I love that she focused on the part where the guy was like, the girl was like, he said to his friend, she was like the best sex of my life. She's getting broken up with, and the guy she was dating was like,
Yeah.
yeah, he said that. And she was like, all she could hear was, oh, I was the best sex of his life.
Yeah, that's all she could
cared
hear.
about.
She was like, oh my God, but wait, what did he say?
yeah, what did he
Wait,
say?
that's amazing. I feel like I would feel that.
That
way.
is not screwed up. That's actually
Pretty
just
amazing.
fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, you guys, if you want to hear more screwed up stories, I listened to all of them today. So
Yeah, she did.
I'm waiting
All
for
of
the
them.
next one. Follow Rachel. Tell everyone where they can find you and both of your podcasts.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter. It's at Rachael N. O'Brien. It reads like Rachel N'Obrien, and Rachel spelled Rachael. And then the Screwed Up Stories podcast is at Screw Stories on Instagram and Twitter. And both of them are, so Be Here for a While, my podcast, and Screwed Up Stories are both on Apple Podcasts.
Both great.
Yeah,
Please,
and my show dates are on my website, Rachael O'Brien
for
Comedy.
all of her stand-up shows.
Yeah.
And you can
which-
hear all about, I'm sure, your breakup over, like, your next
Oh,
set.
because you're going to write him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I'm sure it'll end up in my podcast too.
Somewhere,
Yeah.
guys. Tune in.
And maybe you'll hear us on Screwed Up Stories. Because
Yes, you're gonna be on it
You
for
know what?
sure.
I'm going to dig some up. I have some.
I have
Yeah, I'm
some-
sure you have one. Like if someone told me you need to give me a 10-minute story, I would think of something for
I
sure.
would be able
Absolutely.
to
I
think
need
of
to
something.
check the tapes. I mean, even if we scrolled up in our text messages, I'm sure. Oh, I had sex at my cousin's wedding with his best friend.
Oh,
But I
okay.
had also lost my virginity to him when I was 18. But we rekindled on my cousin's mom's boat.
I was going to say on
outside
a
the
boat.
wedding.
They were
It's a
on a
fun
boat.
story. See, I need to
It's not
enjoy.
that
I wore
screwed
your
up.
dress. I looked real good that night.
I need to enjoy my single time now more. Like I need to have
You
more
do.
stories like that.
You do. And also,
That's the goal.
that wasn't screwed up. That was just
That was fun. Yeah.
That was fun.
See, I don't have any screwed up stories.
No,
I just-
2019 is
at
the
all.
year of yes.
Yes, the year of yes,
so
and no
whoever
screw-ups.
wants me.
Yeah.
And that's
And scene.
And scene.
Now we're going to go drink and
Yeah.
eat, and we think you guys are amazing. Thank you all for tuning in.
yeah. And don't forget to tune in next week week for our guest, Sid Wilder. And don't forget to follow us on all the social medias at Complicated Show. And Jen, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Raya, and apparently you can find me by just checking my location and stalk us at our dinner
I was in the car
tonight.
with her and it said she was right with me.
Yeah, so it's accurate.
It's accurate.
You can come find us at dinner next, or you can follow me at Jennifer Golden. That's Jennifer with one N and one F for you weirdos.
Oh my God. And you can follow me at Not Jen, which also is at Lauren Leonelli on all the social medias as well. And we will be back next week, so we'll see you then. Love you long time.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.